feedback on the deck, at first glance, I think the deck is great, and I wouldn't look to change anything. And just to give you a bit of comfort, I don't think that the goalposts have shifted much or at all as a result of COVID. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, and some investors aren't investing. And in terms of the angels that you're appealing to, the taxi has gone by, so there isn't that urgency to invest. But I don't think that COVID has changed anything. If anything, we see less entrepreneurs submitting applications for cash. So that means that the ones who do, they're going to get more airtime and perhaps more scrutiny, but that's no bad thing because it's a chance for investors to add value. Now, in the same breath, I think valuations were quite high historically, and now this has kind of right-sized them. And I know that's not in favor of the entrepreneurs, but I don't think they're wrong now. But you might see a softening of valuations, and a lot of other advisors have been saying to entrepreneurs, look, you need to make it attractive because it is a risky time. There is uncertainty, and it's a buyer's market, so people are willing to buy. And there's a certain class of people that will always have money, and they will. And during a recession, they see deals. They go for deals, and unfortunately, that's you in this case. So if you get pushback on the valuation, accept it. The only way you can really drive the valuation up is by getting more investors interested. It's a supply and demand equation most of the time. But in summary to question one, COVID shouldn't have any bearing on your business, on your value proposition. The market you're in, everyone talks about this V curve and things like that. It should bounce back. Things should come back to normal. And if anything, it's going to benefit your business. So you can argue why you're in a stronger position. I wouldn't harp on that too much because every plan I see, they say, oh, because of COVID, now we're going to do even better. It's like, okay, let's not all jump on the bandwagon. It's a more of a positive tailwind for anything tech. So that's good. Have you got a board?
Yeah.
That's a big selling point, and that's just going to make you so much more marketable and say, look, we've got a couple of gray hairs around the table. We respect the fact that we're a young, hungry team, but we've got these people to bounce ideas off of, and they're not just a lot of people just list a panel of advisors who really have no involvement in the business. Like, no, these people are directors. This person has a marketing speciality. This person has contacts into the property industry. He understands it well, and he's going to help guide us and open some doors and help us with negotiations. So that immediately, like, your shares go up. It rounds off your team, and not only so strong board, but also very, very importantly, especially when you're doing fundraising, is to have a strong chairperson, because he's going to be the intermediary between you and the investors. Because the nature of it is you're going to have pretty fierce negotiations with investors, especially if you're going for a high valuation, or in my view, you can already see that the negotiation started, right? Someone to help mediate that, because at the end, you're both shareholders and you want to be friends. So you don't want the relationship to break down. So if you've got a third party liaising with both of you, that's always the best position to be in. Second point I would say is, what is the fundraising plan? So now a lot of people, they go, right, and that's good that you've now said, okay, right, we've got an 18-month runway. Good, that gives me comfort. Okay, I know I can sleep for 18 months. And then after that, I'm worried. But what happens next? And that speaks to the valuation uplift. Who have you spoken to? What valuation do Series A investors come in at? What level of monthly recurring revenue are they going to expect? What level of what kind of team structure are they going to expect? How many commercial contracts? Okay, once we get there, we're going to go to these individuals who we've already pre-lined up. These funds specialize in prop tech, and I can list off a few to you. So it's just about you've got a business plan in terms of the business strategy, but a fundraising plan. And while you're still in negative, in cash burn territory, the fundraising plan is as critical as the business plan, because what is the number one reason why startups fail? Or no, number two. There's a number one and number two. What are the two reasons why they fail? Number one, there's no market need. So a lot of, you see that a lot of business school people are looking for, wanting to be entrepreneurs, yet there's no business there. Number two is they run out of cash. So even if you find something good, then they mess up that fundraising plan, or they overspend because, they're drinking kombucha and sitting in, expensive office chairs. Right. Then in terms of the next one, probably links into the E100 session.
Yeah.
They've got 500K committed, but from who? And if they're willing to be named and they are real investors, put them on the deck and shout about them, because if they're someone that I know, it's going to really influence my investment decision.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I mean, and that's a great thing. That's a big thing to shout about. And what you might want to do is optically say, instead of saying we're raising $1 million and we're halfway there, you could say we're raising 750 and we're 2/3 of the way there. We've got a little bit. Oh, and actually, we will, we will allow people to oversubscribe for an extra 250. There's your £1 million round, and all of a sudden, it's just completely pitched differently. And that's what a lot of people on crowd platforms do, and it works.
Yeah.
Empty restaurant syndrome, right?
Yeah, the FOMO.
Exactly, absolutely. And and I can say it because I'm in the investor side, but they say investors swing violently between fear and greed, and you kind of need to catch them in between those two, and on that pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Authenticity is absolutely the name of the game. You're in a trusted environment, so you don't need to. You're not going out to the masses. You're saying, right, I was educated here. I want to give back. I want to give you value, and that's why I think, actually thinking about it more, I'd probably drop the valuation down, because you've got this really warmed up group of investors, and you say, I'm offering you value, and by the time we get to Series A, and it is just artificially on paper, but you can double or triple your money. And then they're like, that's fair. You win, I win, we all win. Why wouldn't we do it? As opposed to using my money to get rich, and if it goes badly, you've got a good defendable story, and you can go on and put it on your CV, and off you go. But I've lost my shirt and my money, and I'm feeling a bit upset.
Yeah, totally. No, makes sense.
But in summary, I think overall it's a great deck. Sounds like you're onto something. As you say, it's a great product because we can all relate to the pain. I love a product where it's like solving a strong customer pain, which is so visceral, So it's great. And I wish you all the best of luck. I'm sure you will do well. Just make sure that you keep your cash burn down. So even when you raise the $1 million, make sure I would extend it even 24 months. The days of hiring a big team and going for it, and there's going to be money waiting the other side. There might not be a Series A waiting there, and it might take 12 months longer than you expect. So just try and really grow it sustainably. Focus on your customers. Focus on getting money from your customers. Use the venture as a little bit of a boost, but this notion, I think, in response to one of your first questions, this notion of being venture-backed being the way to go. Businesses are now realizing, hang on, I actually need to get money from my customers now. And the depth of that J-curve has really gone a lot shallower, and it's just a small little bit of help and a little bit of cash runway so that you can make the right commercial decisions, knowing you've got a bit of firepower behind you, but you are ultra lean and ultra focused on getting your customers money, because the way you get your customers money is by satisfying their needs, and then you've got product market fit and money, which is far better than building your foundation on sand.
Yeah, totally. Amazing. Thanks so much for the feedback, Alex. That was really, really insightful and really helpful. And thanks also for the positive words. I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, it's all true. It's all true. You're very welcome.